Hello everybody. It's been a while since we did a motovlog today, so today is going to be more casual, just a bit more of a check-in, to give you a little bit of an update in terms of all the stuff that's been going on. It's been quite a busy and eventful few months, to say the least. So we'll start off with a family update. So Yoshi, my daughter, she's almost a year old, and she's walking around everywhere now. She went from crawling to walking in the span of about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And so she picked up walking pretty quickly. She gets a little too excited to run around and play. So she'll lose her balance because she gets too excited and wants to go full sprint. So we're trying to coach her to slow down and take it one step at a time, literally. But she's growing. She's already pretty tall, so she's doing good. Tiny Tater is doing great. You know, I really can't complain. Get to be home, get to be parents together, get to co-parent, watch Yoshi grow every single day. Truly is a blessing. In terms of work, I actually signed a offer letter last Friday. So I'm going to be joining a new company, similar job to what I'm doing now, but I'm going to be joining a pretty big company that went gangbusters over this last year. So I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but it's a pretty big company. And also unrelated to getting a new job, but we are also going to be moving. So we're packing up everything, getting ready to move. Previously, the plan was, and this is only going to be for a temporary move, by the way. So we're just going to be moving into a house for a year as of now. And the reason why we're moving is just so that way we can be on our own. Because what happened was, right now, today, we live with my in-laws. So we live with Tiny Tater's parents. And the reason for that is we moved back with the expectation that they were going to move away. They were going to move back overseas. They bought a condo over there. They're getting ready to move. So this was all stuff that's been in the works for years. So we moved back, and with the thought of, okay, we'll live with them for a few months, and then they'll move away, and then we'll buy the house from them. So that way the house stays in the family, and we'll just pay off the rest of the mortgage, so we don't have to go into a lifetime of debt to buy a house in California, in the Bay Area. So, you know, it's win-win-win for everybody. However, that was last March. And what's up, dude? And so then COVID hit, and that kind of shut everything down, and then it just became way too dangerous for her family to move back overseas. We decided, okay, thank you. And so we decided, okay, we'll just stay in the house and just play it by ear, right? Because it was always like, all right, well, you know, COVID's only going to be there for a couple weeks, before a month, 3 months. You know, it doesn't really make the most sense to move away for 6 months to move back, right? I mean, like, we all get along, we're great family, so there's no problem living with the in-laws for a few months. But then as things got longer and longer and longer, and we realized that it's going to be here for the long term, we decided, yeah, it's okay, we'll just stay. You know, they help out with Yoshi, so it's all good. But now with everything going on, they're thinking they're going to be staying for a bit longer. So even when COVID starts to alleviate itself, as countries start to get herd immunity, as everybody gets vaccinated, they're still kind of iffy on when they're actually going to leave. So we decided, okay, it makes the most sense. It's going to be what's best for our family, for us to be able to grow and be independent and do what we want to do. We'll move out for a year and then kind of repeat that whole process. So once they're getting ready to move back overseas, then we'll move back into the house and all that other good stuff. So we were really set on finding a house, and so we took a look at quite a few places, and we found a few that we really liked. You know, great neighborhood, in budget, safe, well-kept houses, and we're getting pretty close to signing the lease for a couple of them. And then pretty much at the last minute, the owners of those houses came back and said, yeah, you know, we're getting offers for having like 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And so we obviously want to go with them because they don't want to have to go through the process of trying to find a tenant again in a year, which is totally fine. I would do the exact same thing if I was in their shoes. So actually finding a house and getting to the point where we could sign a lease was actually kind of difficult. We ended up finding a house, and the listing was online for about 15 minutes when I reached out, booked a tour for the following day, went on a tour, and then signed the lease the following day. And so it was like record time, and I was the first person that contacted them, and the broker was like, yeah, if you didn't do this, it would have been the next person, because they were very eager to sign a lease as well. And so it actually worked out that the first couple of homes didn't pan out, because this home that we found is actually much better for us. And so it was actually kind of all worked out for the best. Yeah, so basically it's going to be moving in a week, starting a new job in a few weeks, being on our own. So a lot of change is going to be coming. And just because we didn't already have enough change already in our lives, we're also going to be getting a dog pretty soon, hopefully. Because part of the negotiation with the owners was, hey, can we get a dog? And we've always wanted a dog, but we weren't able to get one before because the apartment complex we used to live in, this is all before Yoshi, obviously, the apartment complex that Tiny Tater and I lived in didn't allow pets. So we didn't get a dog then, and then we were thinking, okay, maybe when we move back and her parents are overseas, then we'll get a dog, because her mother is allergic to dogs. So we're like, all right, we'll wait for that. And then they stayed, and so we've been waiting for like 6 years to get a dog. And I've grown up with dogs, so I've had dogs my entire life. But Tiny Tater, she's only been with dogs from other family members. I don't recall if she's ever actually had a dog herself. So yeah, so I've been very busy, you know, the chaos of trying to find a house, and it is intense. Like, it is super hard to find a house right now. Something that is in budget, in a safe area. It's a newer house, so we don't have to worry about lead paint, because that was another thing we had to deal with. Was we almost signed a lease on one house, and then we found out that the house may potentially have lead paint. And the owner was not willing to do an inspection because all they have to do is basically be ignorant about it. So if you're an owner and you have an old house before 1978, as long as you never get the house inspected, basically, or you never have reason to believe that there's lead paint, you never have to get it checked out. And then all you have to tell your potential tenants is, hey, there's a possibility that there's lead paint here. And then they have to sign a waiver and all that good stuff, saying that you can't sue them if you get like lead poisoning or all that other good stuff, right? And so because we have a almost 1-year-old, we're like, yeah, we're not going to risk it. And so I asked, like, hey, is it okay if we get it inspected? And they're like, nope, we will not get it inspected because we have, quote unquote, no reason to believe that there's lead paint there. But if they get it inspected, then that's, you know, undeniable proof that there is or isn't lead paint there. And so if there is, then they have to really deal with it. Versus if they played ignorance and then to say, yeah, I don't have any reason to believe that it's in there, then they get to basically be ignorant about it and don't have any liability. So that's not something that I was willing to risk, because there was paint that was chipping in some areas of the house. So we passed on that house, and so finding something that checked all the boxes was really difficult. So we drove, I don't know how many times to San Jose to check out different houses, take a look at different areas. And of course, listings don't tell you the whole truth. You know, you have to really take those listings with a grain of salt. So that was very stressful, but we got through that. So now it's just a part of moving, which I don't know about you, but I don't like moving. I just want to get it done and over with as fast as possible. So this next weekend, it's going to be 2 days of just intense moving, because I'm not the type that likes to move a box here and there and slowly move in over the course of a few weeks and set everything up over the course of a few weeks. For me, it's like, nah, get it over with, get it done over 2 days, and just be done with it. because I find it much more annoying to have to deal with it for weeks on end. A lot of people. So, but this time we hired movers, so they'll help out with the big furniture stuff. They'll help take care of all that, because it's just going to be too difficult for Tiny Tater and I to move all the big furniture while also taking care of Yoshi. So we got some movers to help out with that. New job, new house, new pet, and we're going to be getting a puppy. So that's going to be like raising another kid all over again. And I've had puppies, you know. We used to have a couple of golden retrievers, and before they got fixed, they got together, and so then the dog got pregnant, and so we had a litter of golden retriever puppies. And so that was such a fun experience. Yeah, she had 8 puppies, and we sold them all, got them all registered, did all the good stuff that you're supposed to do when selling puppies. And so, but that was such a fun experience, just taking care of all the little puppies and playing with them. And I think I was maybe 12 or 13 at the time. So we've been around puppies. We've always had puppies and dogs, and we've always wanted big dogs too. So now we finally have the chance to get a big dog. Well, a dog, plus it being a big dog. So I won't reveal what kind of dog we're going to get just yet. That'll be a future video. But we're finally going to be able to get a bigger dog. That also kind of ensures that we won't move back until her parents are really ready to be gone, because we can't move back with the dog because her mom's still allergic while her parents are still there. So that really ensures that, you know, we won't move back too early. So it's been quite stressful for the last few weeks, you know, just going through the whole interview process for the job, and it was an intense interview process. I went through 5 rounds of interviews. No, 4 rounds. I went through 4 rounds of interviews. Did pretty well, and then the recruiter was like, hey, you should expect an offer letter like last Friday. He's like, hey, you should be getting an offer letter either today or early next week. I'm like, great, sounds great. I'll keep an eye out for it. Friday passes, Monday passes, Tuesday passes, and I'm wondering, like, hey, where the hell is the offer letter? This isn't a good sign, you know? They're saying something should be coming in, and it's not coming in, like something went wrong. So I was like, oh crap. So I contacted the recruiter on Wednesday, and he's like, oh yeah, you should be getting it by today. I went, all right. Wednesday passes, nothing. Thursday passes, nothing. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking like, okay, they just kept me on the hook. Like they're going for other candidates, and if those don't pan out, then maybe I'll get it. And so then Friday finally comes along, and then they contact me and said, hey, here's your offer letter. And the timing of it was just really weird. I guess what they were saying was, because I guess I didn't check my references until much later. And so they wanted to check my references first before they extended the offer letter, which makes perfect sense. But usually that's done a little bit earlier, not as the last final thing. Or the recruiter would say, hey, I'm going to check your references, and then we'll talk about sending you an offer letter. It's not, hey, you should expect an offer letter today, and then, by the way, we'll go check our references out during the same timing. It doesn't make much sense. But so I guess I wanted to wait, so the timing was a bit awkward. But signed the offer letter, so just got to give my 2 weeks notice this next week. So by the time you all see this will all be done. Just because I know there's a couple people from work that follow me, and so I don't want that news. I don't want them finding out before I actually talk to my manager. Because word will spread very quickly. And I do not want my manager finding out that I will be leaving through a YouTube video. Yeah, and this new job is going to be really intense. It is going to be an intense job, but it is a pay bump, it is a pay increase, and you know, the job's kind of similar, it's just much more focused. Because right now I'm kind of a one-man army, and I do many different things. And so I'll actually be joining a team and being able to really focus on key areas, which will be nice. So, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of change going on in my life and my family's life. Well, that's good. You know, change is good. Change isn't necessarily bad. You know, it's like nothing is ever completely good, nothing is ever completely bad. There's always pros and cons to every change, and I think that's one of my biggest strengths is dealing with change and being adaptable and flexible. So just take it one step at a time, deep breaths, focus on the positives, and we'll get through it. Yeah, in terms of the channel's grown quite substantially over the, well, at least for me, my definition of substantial. It's grown quite a bit over the last few months. You know, I think we've gotten about 100 new subscribers over the course of this last month. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't watched some of my other videos, you know, for me, it's not so much about subscriber count and getting the biggest views and the highest and getting as many subs as possible. You know, that's nice, but that's not my goal. My goal is to really create a community, to have conversations with people, have dialogue, and to, you know, help people in terms of getting people on bikes and riding and helping them learn how the motorcycle works and providing different tutorials and guides and reviews. So, I mean, that's really about it. This is kind of a passion project for me, something I do for fun. And, you know, if it gets big enough to where I can make a career out of it, great, but, you know, that's not the end goal, at least for right now. Right now, it's just about having fun, having something to work on, helping people, and building that community. By the way, I got a ton of stickers printed, so I have a whole bunch of different types of stickers. I'll show some of them up here. So if you would like a sticker, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. Just send me your address, what kind of sticker you want, and I'll be happy to mail those out to you. This is just my way of showing support and thanking each of you, and just saying, you know, thanks for following, thanks for being a subscriber. So right now I've got a lot to look forward to in life and a lot to be happy about. And so that's where I am very truly blessed, because not everybody has that opportunity to look forward to certain things, especially in this time. All right, everybody, that's going to be about it for today. Let me know what kind of videos you would like to see. You know, I've been posting a bit of variety, and of course I can just go off of the analytics in terms of what you all like to see. You all really love to see, you know, product reviews in terms of exhaust and stuff from Dean Speed. But let me know what other content you would like to see, and I'll see if I can do that for you. As always, everybody, be brave, do good, take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And leave a comment down below in terms of what you're looking forward to. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.